Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Bearable Bull here. And I got this aggressively average content for you today, as Bitcoin is on the precipice of breaking 40K. Oh, you better believe if Bitcoin hits that 40K mark, the FOMO will return to the crypto market like a broken dam. Ladies and gentlemen, there's massive demand for crypto right now. My crypto spidey senses are tingling, but we need to stay grounded and pay attention and see what happens next. We have to have a game plan in place. We have to remember everything we've learned over the past 5 years on this channel. We will not make any mistakes heading into this next bull cycle. We've learned it all. And we are more prepared than 99.99% of the planet. I'm going to start off a little different today, as Blockchain Backer does a great job having a daily live stream with markets in the morning. And I tuned in yesterday and listened to a lot of what he had to say. And I've specifically clipped out a minute worth of gold that he was talking about yesterday, that I need to refer to for all of you to have the best sense of what's going to happen in your minds, to have the best sense of how these markets are correlated in your minds. And without a shadow of a doubt, if you remember all of these things, you're going to be okay heading into the next bull run.
Right? We overlay the charts, we show them, we show that correlation of Bitcoin to the equity markets, we show that correlation of, or that inverse correlation of equity markets to gold. And those are all just unequivocal evidence. Those are not opinion pieces, right? So what we have not seen ever in history has been Bitcoin go on a bull run without the equity market. It has always been with the equity market. And we have never seen gold go on a bull run with the equity market. It's always one or the other for an actual bull run, right? Will one throw a curveball and a trick? Looks possible. We have the highest close in history for gold, while at the same time, an absolute banger of a monthly candle over there on the Dow. Thing about the Dow, though, is we know it's 9% away from its 4.236 extension. So is this distribution and trickery? That's going to be my guess. But either way, there you go for gold. Crazy. Again, DXY finding a little bit of support happening in there, has shown bullish divergences in there. The thing to be keeping an eye on here is more of a roll back up, and that some supports have likely been found. And if new lows do come, they probably won't be much lower than what we've already seen.
So, ladies and gentlemen, what you need to realize is the correlation between markets. Crypto and the stock market have tended to move together. The stock market and gold tend to move opposite. And then the DXY and risk on assets move in opposite directions as well. The DXY has been getting weaker, and crypto and stocks have been getting stronger. Gold, the stock market, crypto, all of these markets have a level of correlation between them. Money needs places to go in certain times. And these are one of those times where I believe money is going to go into crypto. The stock market has been showing strength. So has gold. Like Blockchain Backer said, one of these two are lying. And we're about to find out. In my opinion, stock market and crypto market begin to pivot, deviate from each other. And that's something I just ask that you keep in the back of your minds. It has not happened yet. And I'm not saying it will. But it's simply something I'm looking to observe. And I want you all to just pay attention. Now, as we look at FortuneCrypto.com, we could see that a judge has scolded the SEC for apparent deception in crypto case, threatening to sanction the agency. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting a 180-degree narrative shift around the SEC and Gary Gensler. The agency is looking to get sanctioned. The SEC has been playing the game unfairly, fabricating evidence, and now the justice system is tired. Let's see what comes out of this. But the ball started rolling after this Ripple case, and I feel like the rest of the crypto market is going to benefit from Ripple and XRP's suffering. We will be the market leaders. Ripple will go down as one of the most powerful crypto companies on the planet. And we're all blessed to be in before the flip of the price moment. Now guys, from Cypress Demanicor, he stated in this clip from Permissionless, the next bull run is going to be one of the biggest this market has ever seen, because for the first time, we will see institutional money flooding in. And myself personally, I 100% agree.
To kick things off, one of the things, as I mentioned, is at Coalition Greenwich, we conduct industry research, which includes the annual institutional adoption study by Fidelity, but also most recently a report that we just released in partnership with Amber Data that we're very excited to talk about briefly. If you have a chance, you can go to Amber Data's booth. You can scan the QR code and get a download of that report. There's a nifty way to do that, so please go see Amber Data if you can. One of the things that we've noticed through that research is just the growing seriousness about institutions and their approach to digital assets. The representation of that is putting people, actual persons, not necessarily wallets or assets, but people into seats. And so now about 25% of asset managers and hedge funds have a dedicated person whose role is specifically focused on digital assets, which we think is a really good indicator of kind of institutional focus and adoption in one segment of the institutional marketplace, which is managers.
Now, guys, with that being said, I'm going to ask that you all allow me to tickle your pickle and... Wait a minute. That sounded so bad. Guys, this is live. I'm recording all the way through for the first time. I did not know how that would sound. Forgive me. Let's do this again. Okay. Let me give you an idea to entertain. Imagine a world where we're able to see the price of gold explode up in value because the central banks have been stacking gold like madmen. I do believe there will be a moment in time where they revalue the price of gold, because when the central banks accumulate gold, it shows you exactly what they're going to use to help fix the system and what is going to make money. You follow what the institutions that print trillions do, and you'll get rich by accident. But the hypothesis I have is I think XRP just has to go higher. Once some sort of revaluation of gold comes, I do think it's going to help stabilize the financial system and the debt on the books. We need to understand that the future of blockchain and gold will be to redefine wealth in ways we've never imagined. I do believe in tokenized gold being used to help save the financial system. XRP is a tool that can, not will, but can be used to do this. Combined with CBDCs and universal basic income, it'll help stabilize the economy and stabilize people's lives. And I'm not sitting here trying to argue that it's good. I'm just sitting here arguing that it's going to happen. And out of necessity, XRP's price will have to be higher. XRP's price will go higher based on speculation and FOMO alone. So just imagine how much higher XRP will have to be when a use case on a global scale is at play.
The Bank of International Settlements covered the last of their bets against a rising gold price. Look, there's only one reason gold is carving out a higher stair-step to rally from in 2024. Every other global central bank, both Western and the entire global South, have been openly on record as well as surreptitiously off record buying physical gold. And this leads to just one conclusion. Global central banks are accruing physical gold. so they can revalue this gold at close to the market price. And when any one of these central banks commences this process, it will trigger every other central bank to synchronize. And as soon as this happens, the Fed will have basically one of two options. Either they admit they've sold title to the Treasury gold to multiple parties. Well, clearly that's not an option. Or they're going to have to move to revalue this 831 tons of rehypothecated positions in sync with global central banks so as to avert what would be a foreign exchange imbalance. Bear in mind that gold's a foreign exchange cross. So it would create an FX imbalance, which would trigger multiple repatriation requests from other central banks requiring their undervalued gold to be returned for jurisdictional revaluation purposes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, what he said right there was so significant that I have to repeat it and also apply it to XRP. Gold being revalued will definitely have a trickle effect into a flood. Once one of these central banks looks at the other one and they're starting to do something, they will all follow suit. At the end of the day, there's one puppet master pulling the puppet strings for all of these central banks. One of these central banks in one of these smaller nations, which most likely will be the one to start the domino effect. Start revaluing gold. Others will follow. But at the same time, in the same breath, when it comes to XRP, once one of these central banks starts adopting it, once they start building their CBDCs and using XRP with it, all the other central banks are inclined to move forward as well. If there's one thing I can say to all of you is that I've researched XRP more than I've researched anything else over the past 5 years, and I know exactly what I hold. And I'm going to leave you with this video for today of Warren Buffett in honor of the passing of his best friend Charlie Munger, letting you know how to invest in what you know and why that's what you should do. You better believe I know Ripple and XRP. You better believe I know the crypto industry. And that's why I'm all in moving forward into the biggest bull run yet in 2024. Keep your eyes on the prize, my friends. We will all become the new 1%. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bearable Bull here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I appreciate every single one of you. Now I'll be back tomorrow with another video.
Ted Williams wrote a book called The Science of Hitting. And in The Science of Hitting, he's got a diagram, shows him at the plate. And he's got the strike zone divided into 77 squares, each the size of a baseball. And he says, if I only swing at pitches in my sweet zone, which he shows there, and he has what his batting average would be, which is 400. If he had to swing at low outside pitches, but still in the strike zone, his average would be 230. He said the most important thing in hitting is waiting for the right pitch. Now, he was at a disadvantage because if the count was 0-2 or 1-2 or so on, even if that ball was down where he was only going to bat 230, he had to swing at it. In investing, there's no called strikes. People can throw Microsoft at me and, you name it, any stock, General Motors, and I don't have to swing. And nobody's going to call me out on called strikes. I only get a strike called if I swing at a pitch and miss. So I can wait there and look at thousands of companies day after day, and only when I see something I understand and when I like the price at which it's selling, then if I swing, if I hit it, fine. If I miss it, it's a strike. But it's an enormously advantageous game, and it's a terrible mistake to think you have to have an opinion on everything. You only have to have an opinion on a few things. In fact, I've told students, if when they got out of school, they got a punch card with 20 punches on it, and that's all the investment decisions they got to make in their entire life, they would get very rich because they would think very hard about each one. And you don't need 20 right decisions to get very rich. 4 or 5 will probably do it over time.